streaming kind of late. I didn't mean to start so late. I was waiting for my family to leave the house, and so I took a shower early and I zoned out in there. I think I was in there for 2 hours. So it's already past when I should be going to bed. But it doesn't really matter because I have to wake up early anyway to meet some deadlines. I had to do that today too, or yesterday. So I only slept 5 hours or so. I really need to try to sleep more regularly. That would be good. I'm gonna keep my headphones, earbuds out so I can hear if anyone comes back. I don't know their schedules. It changes. So, what was I saying? Hello. How are you? It's definitely much later than usual. I also said that I would do another stream either the next day, tomorrow or the next day, and it's the next day. And I didn't want to lie, even though I don't think anyone was holding me to it. But still. And I was gonna do maybe a movie review corner, because I finished watching the Thor movies and I took a bunch of notes on the last one. It was very boring, so I had more fun writing notes about it than watching it. There are 3 full pages of notes about this movie. I don't even know where to begin. My handwriting is messy here. And I have no light. I wanted to try doing what movie critics do, you know? I thought it was a good chance too, since I didn't really like the movie. I feel kind of bad, you know, critiquing, because so many people worked on it, so it was alright. How was yours? Oh, I was wondering, when you chatted, did you see an empty message box, like an empty rules box? Because sometimes there's this glitch where if you try to fill in rules but you delete them, there's an empty box. Did you see one before typing? I don't know how to check myself. So, okay. I was just saying that I kind of feel bad, but they won't see this. Don't tell them. They won't see, so it won't hurt their feelings. I'm kind of curious about the budget of this movie. I think it was probably pretty big considering it was the MCU. So let me look it up. It was Love and Thunder. Budget. Let me see. Oh, I don't know if this is considered a lot of money now for movies. 250 million. Seems like a lot. It's an unfathomable number. Maybe for an A-list actor or two, it's not so much. And plus 100 to promote. And I think it had the same director too. It's very strange because I think he made all of them, did he? Wait, did he? No, he didn't. It's funny because he was the director for the good one, which was Ragnarok, and also this one, which I think is maybe the worst MCU movie. I'm sorry. Okay. What are the notes? Oh, there's so many criticisms here. recently I was reading some articles about creative writing strategies, and one of the things that they drill in, which everyone knows already, is the show don't tell rule. And I think this movie is kind of a masterclass on throwing that rule in the garbage. It was the most telling I've ever seen, I think. It starts with a monologue, and then there are flashback descriptions from the rock guy, and then Thor is always saying that he's scared, and everyone's always saying exactly what they're feeling, and exactly why they're doing things, when you could really show it easily through just a few gestures. And something kind of interesting about the creative writing essays I was reading is they also talked about the importance of details in showing, which is obvious, I know, but it's kind of interesting the way they put it, because, for instance, you can't say, a very good liar always puts in details, like if they say, no, I dropped off your letter, I went to the post office, for sure. It's not that believable, maybe, I guess depending on how good of a liar you are. But then if you say, I went there and there was this guy with 3 huge boxes and he tripped over the curb, so I'm absolutely sure I delivered your letter, then people will believe you. I mean, you shouldn't do that, but for writing, if you have some details, it will be convincing, and they didn't really do that. I know it's different for movies, but because, they have details to clothes and music and all these things. So it's not the same rules, but I think some of it still applies, and they kind of threw it out the window. And the soundtrack was very, very obvious at times. Like, you notice when it comes in. I think a good soundtrack, you're not supposed to notice when it comes in. It's supposed to be really smooth. But I could always, when the music played, I would always see like the editing bars, someone dragging the song onto an application in post-production. So I thought that was one of the more obvious ones I've ever seen. And then also about the Thor series in general, I think the only good movie personally was the third one. It's actually one of the better movies, I think, in the MCU. I think it's pretty rare to have a sequel or to have a series with 4 movies, and only the third one is really good. I guess it's okay for Marvel because they have the money for that. But Thor as a character, I think, is good outside of the movie season. So it's not so bad. I don't think you're missing anything if you don't watch the other 3. And then, there was a lot of recapping too. Also, in the end of Ragnarok, there was this big ship, I guess Thanos' ship, that came behind them, and it was in the intro to Infinity War. And then it just cuts to there being, after the confrontation, just people floating in space. And then in this movie, and those were all the Asgardians, because they escaped from their planet, which blew up, and then you see them floating in space, and that's how Thor is saved. And then in this movie, you see some of the Asgardians again, and it never explains how they survived. The theory that's probably very true is that he spared half of their lives, but it never showed that. Some people thought that was a good decision, but I think that and some other things, like not explaining the breakup, a few other things, a lot of things really. I think it's a little bit drawing, so I don't know. Well, someone suggested that maybe not explaining it would kind of help set the scene as being really dark, because it leaves, the mystery up with all the bodies floating, and it wouldn't have the same effect if it was shown. So maybe it was a good choice, but I don't see why they wouldn't explain anything even a little bit in the Thor movie, if not Infinity War. But, oh yeah, lot of plot conveniences too, like how she can just randomly wield the Mianna. I forgot the weapon's name. Mijianya. The hammer. The hammer. And it's kind of explained by her, by the spell he puts over it, like his father did for him. But the timing of it calling out to her is really weird and convenient. But also it doesn't even save her. It sucks her life force. So the thing is, the spell was to save her, but it actually does the opposite. So I don't understand how that worked. Because it didn't save her from anything. It saved other people, but she died. So I really don't mind that she died. They did their best, you know. I guess trying to develop the characters, but they never had very good chemistry or like a super strong relationship. Also in Ragnarok, the rock guy, he was pretty funny and good comic relief. But in this one, it was not so good. But he tried. Also, they had this the scene with Zeus, and the accent on this guy is so funny. It's also really funny to me that being a god can live for thousands of years and still have a Greek accent that is not Greek. It was like a mix between Greek, Russian, and Borat, which was funny. I liked it. And okay. They do explain the breakup here though, which was good. And I like that the lady who I forget a lot of people's names in this. She was the one on the Pegasus. She wears Earthly clothes now that she's in a new Asgard, which I thought was cool. Because even though the other clothes are cool, it kind of shows that she's in a new place and new culture and adjusting to it. I thought that was a good way of showing and not telling. So, there were a few good jokes too. Only a few, but it must be very difficult, you know. I don't know if you have to be able to write a really good movie to critique it. I don't think that's true. So I hope that's okay. They won't see it though. Also, the rules for the hammer are a bit confusing because she drops the hammer while she's having this sort of vision of her sickly self, and it creates this big gash in the wooden floor. But a lot of times when the hammer is dropped even hard, it doesn't create any sort of effect on the floor. It doesn't have what seems to be a huge weight for things that are inanimate. Like, the worthiness thing only applies to sentient creatures. So I don't understand why there was a bigger impact, because it wasn't dropped from very far. But I guess maybe the floor is weaker, so I guess we'll let that go. And then, oh yeah, the weapons making portals. I don't know. There's probably some more to explain that, so I'll let it go. What else? Nope. Oh yeah. I don't remember if the rock guy was able to build himself up again, but he was pretend killed. And just long enough for him to kill Zeus, but not really kill Zeus. And there's also going to be a sequel. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with these though, but good luck to them. Maybe if there are a lot of people who really like it, I will try it. Yeah, I'll look into it. But there's also this children kidnapping scene. It's like a big part of the movie, but you don't take it seriously at all because the movie doesn't take itself seriously. So there's never really any worry about the safety of the kids. And there's a scene on the planet where they're fighting, and Thor says we have to keep them alive. That's the only way we're gonna get to the children. But that's the only link we have to the children. But he has the link with the son of the guy who has the golden eyes. I keep forgetting everyone's name, but he's able to project himself as this vision being, and see where they are. So it was not even true, and the bad guy is like choking Jane with these twigs, these nightmare twigs, and to get him to call the weapon down, because that's the key, which is another plot convenience I don't understand. So he does, and then about 2 seconds later, she just acts like nothing happened at all. Like there's no heavy breathing, there's no marks or anything, and it was squeezing really hard. Like her face was all puffy and yeah, and he was getting really scared that she was gonna die from it. And then there's just nothing. Just, yeah, hi, I'm fine. What are we doing now? I thought that was an interesting directorial choice. Interesting choice, for sure. The fridge door joke was kind of funny. I think it's probably been used before, but I don't mind. I thought it was okay. Yeah. A lot of stuff about the randomness of certain scenes. Oh, and when they were fighting, Thor was able to, for some reason, just transfer his powers to the kids. I was reading about why, because if he could do this normally, it would be a huge plot hole, because in Infinity War, he was almost able to defeat Thanos by himself. He's pretty much the strongest, one of the strongest Avengers. The Hulk was out of commission for some reason during Infinity War, so he was almost able to do that, himself. So if he was able to transfer his powers to other Avengers, they definitely would have been able to beat him. But the explanation is that you need Zeus's thunderbolt, a lightning bolt, to actually I think it is thunderbolt, to transfer the powers. But if they knew that the gods existed and that could happen, I suppose he probably didn't know. I guess not, but he knew it was intuitive that he could transfer his powers once he got it. I don't think the weapons come with a sort of guide, so maybe it's an intuition thing. I don't know. But he was able to conveniently transfer his powers to a lot of kids. And also they found a ton of weapons in the form of these just metal beams left around. Also a convenience, but one of the girls fought with her bunny, which was cute. I like that part. I thought that originally I thought it was just a bunch of spears and axes and stuff lying around, but it was a little bit more believable, which was interesting. Better, yeah. Oh, and also about the wishes, I thought that, oh, the Jane monologue too. The 1, I'm this, 2, I'm this, 3, something else. That was something. I feel like they wrote this very, very quickly. Or maybe they lost the vision, maybe. I'm sorry. It's not very good. I noticed a lot of things about it. And also, a lot of cringy lines, like, unpredictable, like, you seek love. That line, talking to the villain, like, all you really wanted was love, right? So don't kill us. And then he doesn't. I thought originally that he was gonna wish for Jane to get better, and I was really, really hoping he wouldn't do that, because it really wouldn't make any sense for him to go on this god-killing rampage, because a god betrayed him and his daughter, and then not resurrect his daughter. It doesn't make any sense, so I'm glad they didn't go that way. The father-daughter combo is kind of interesting. I don't know how much I like that. I kind of like when the family life is separate, like with Iron Man's kids and Hawkeye. I don't know if I really like the combo, but maybe people will like it. And I was also thinking about what kind of wishes you would grant. I don't think there's anything that you could grant that would actually, just thinking about what I would wish for, that would actually pan out okay. Because if you wish for something like no further suffering in the world, I mean, maybe we would just die out because, I mean, birth is pain, or I guess birth would be painless, but suffering too comes from the, I guess, disfiguration, that's the wrong word, but judging too, in the form of like how you feel about yourself post-pregnancy. So would that just stop happening, pregnancy, or would they just sort of snap into existence? And how would life go on without any struggle? So you couldn't wish for like no struggle, no pain. What could you even wish for? Because if you had any overarching judgment, any kind of overarching wish, it would just throw everything out of balance. I think the only thing you could wish for is something small. I mean, there's still a butterfly effect, maybe. Probably not if you're allowed to wish, but I don't see how you could wish for some really, really grand thing without changing everything. So I think the answer is just not to wish for anything. And maybe wish for a small thing, like for an individual to get better, or some bad thing to be discovered and brought to justice, maybe. But I don't think you could have a big one. Maybe there's a way, maybe you could think on it for a long time if you actually got the chance to make such a wish. The other funny thing is the Godslayer guy, he finds eternity, which people must be looking for like crazy if it grants any wish you want. They must be looking for it all the time, and he just found it so easily at the center of the universe. And there's nothing about his sword taking him there. And there are people who had the sword before him and the curse before him, and they never looked for it, or they never found it. So that's also a huge plot convenience. Like he just happened upon eternity, which is like that eyelash in my eye. Which it's fine. Yeah, just more conveniences. Also, they seem to be able to just teleport anywhere, like on the island to get the kids. They're just able to space island. I don't know, some kind of fixture. I don't know where it is, but she's just able to transport there to help him. Teleport there to help him. And it is not really explained how she just knows exactly where it is and is able to get there instantly. But I think there's a portal with Mian now. the hammer, but I don't know. I didn't look into that. I don't remember there being a portal for that weapon, cause didn't they always need to have the guy with the golden eyes call them in? This eyelash is not gonna go anywhere. I thought so, but maybe, well, it's not gonna get out. That's okay. I like the burn. But it's okay. Oh, and then when she's dying, one of the final things she's talking about is this catchphrase, this silly catchphrase she's been trying to come up with, and she whispers it to him. She doesn't even tell the audience what this silly catchphrase is. And honestly, I don't think that there's any narrative reason to not tell the audience. I genuinely believe it's because they couldn't come up with a catchphrase. I'm tearing up because of these decisions. No, because it hurts. So it's fine. It's normal irritation. Okay. Oh yeah, and also she's referred to as Mighty Thor. I guess Thors are plural. Like, it's not just one guy. Multiple people can be Thor. Well, he bestows his power, so I guess so. But I guess it's like with how Captain America is a role, instead of just Steve Rogers. It's gonna be kind of hard to get used to that though. And then what else? Separate. Oh, another thing about fighting not crime fighting, villain fighting duo of a dad and daughter. It also kind of removes the stakes, which are already kind of low in Marvel movies because people usually don't die. That changed recently, of course, with the last two Avengers movies, but a lot of the time you know they're gonna be fine. But I think that's even more so because they're not just gonna kill his daughter, his 8-year-old. I don't think that's gonna happen. So it also kind of takes out even the chance of there being fatal consequences. Maybe she'll watches that though, I don't know. And they do have a sequel, I think I mentioned that. And then more stuff about the Bifrost. I explained that. And then holding. Okay. Those are most of my notes. I skipped a lot of it, but I think that's everything. So overall, did not enjoy very much, but it was an opportunity to try to take notes during a movie. I think if it was an enjoyable movie, it kind of would have been ruined by staring at the notepad. But I actually was kind of hoping for more things to write down. It was very boring. But they tried, I guess. Good effort. I don't know. I feel kind of bad. So I think it was very dark in the bathroom. I think I will go. Recently I had this little night light in there because the main light is really, really bright. So I had this little night light I used, and it was just thrown away. Unfortunately, because it was old, so someone threw it away, and I looked through the trash for it, but it was already gone. I didn't use my bare hands. I used gloves, okay? But it was perfect. It was such a perfect light. It was the perfect amount of brightness, and it had this cover on it that kind of looked like watercolors flowing together, and I like staring at it. But to be fair, the light bulb was almost burnt out and it was held together by tape, so fair enough, I guess. But now it's so dark in there. I found this little hedgehog light. It's pretty dim too, but it's enough so that I can feel better about not being complete darkness. But it has it only works by charging with UV. It has one of those tiny solar panels. But it won't charge, and I think that's because it's charged to the window. And let me look this up because the window does block some kind of sunlight. Window blocks what? UV? I think there's A and B. Most UVB radiation. So what do solar panels charge from UVB or UVA? UVA, UVB. Visible light spectrum. Portion of the sun's rays. That's in the eye response. Ultraviolet. Primarily visible light. So that's outside of the UV spec. That's part of it. I don't know. UV light, only about 4% is from UV light, of the sunlight's energy. UV light versus visible light. Shorter wavelengths. So, how much do windows block out? How much visible do windows block? Not very much, so I don't know if putting it outside will help, but I'm gonna try. Maybe in a sunnier area too, because the windows I put it by are a little bit shaded, or there are screens over them. So I'm gonna see if hopefully it works if I put it outside, because I don't have any other lights. Maybe I have some Christmas lights I could find and maybe use those. I don't know. But I guess it will be a good experiment. This was pretty much just 25 minutes of talking about the Thor movie, so I don't know. Don't know what kind of stream this is. I just thought I would talk quickly to this Thor stream today. I'm talking really weakly, I think, because I can hear myself. That always happens. What else? I also stayed up. So yeah, I stayed up because of the deadlines, and then I also stayed up in the morning because I procrastinated helping with my brother's resume. I had to send it to him before this meeting he had with an advisor. So I stayed up for that, and then I got up early for the other deadlines. And now I have to get up early again for more deadlines. And I'm going to bed a few hours late. So I guess I won't be getting a full night's sleep anytime soon. But that's okay. I'm still functional, I think. It'll be fine. Okay, I was very sleepy. I said it would probably only be 30 minutes, so I will go. Thank you so much here. Okay, have a good day. Good night. Okay. Oh, I was about to leave. Hello. Bye. Is it okay if I leave? Okay. I'm sorry.